Cancer, Luna baby, the one with the gentle heart and the beautiful emotions. I hope that you're doing well. I really hope that you are doing very, very beautiful. There's a little bit of a humming at the back. I do apologize. It's my fish tank. But I really hope that you're doing super, super well. Beautiful, beautiful cancers. It has been a crazy time for you because, and even the people that are dealing with you, maybe you're dealing with a cancer and you're here, you are saying, what's going on with this person? I just need to make some sense of things. And if that is you, I want to take my hat off to you because I'm a cancer myself, and those moods can hit you from nowhere. Like they hit you for a 6 out of nowhere. And with all these floating emotions that were going around, it has been super challenging, because you are that natural empath that picks up other people's emotions so easily. And sometimes I have to ask myself, and I recommend the same for you, I have to ask myself, are these my emotions that I'm feeling or is it someone else's? Okay? We're going to see what the universe has got to say for you for the month of March. Beautiful Cancerians. Month of March. Cancer, dealing with cancer, Cancer in the chart, especially in your Venus placement, because the focus here is love. And you're using the OSHO Zen Tarot for these draws. On my Facebook page, I am posting daily messages. It is uncanny how the same cards keep on coming out for everybody. I'm posting messages like daily messages if you maybe want to learn Osho Zen. And before that I did the whole tarot, the whole thought deck. So if you're interested in learning, you can always go check those out. There's a link down below in the description for my Facebook page. Okay. So you got to take this message as it resonates, alright? Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. Remember, it is general. But I've got sorrow over there. And Osho Zen is a lot about how to clear the blockages out of your way, the things that are holding you back. Because a lot of times, Cancers, what we want is it's technically speaking, it's 100% available all the time. But Osho Zen Tarot is a lot about making what is possible for you. And I like seeing this so very much because I can see that you have really sat with some of your emotions. I don't know, it may actually feel like you didn't have a choice. It might feel like it was very much sort of like forced upon you, or I think the frustration that for a lot of you started to come out here. And I'm gonna tell you something, but I don't want you to freak out about it, okay? So that negative energy that you found yourself being in, especially like the last 2 months, it's like this heavy energy. You may have realized maybe you want different in life, started to commit towards that, and then it didn't happen as fast as you would have wanted it to happen. And I can see because of that, some of you have sort of started to build up some resistance. But what's really cool about March is that there's a space that is sort of opening. There's a light that's sort of like opening. So it's like the universe is giving you a little nudge in a positive direction, like there's a windfall for you, which comes and actually clears that karma for you. So don't worry too much if you've been under a very heavy cloud at the moment about your karma, because it's like, you're getting like a clean slate, it's being dusted, you're getting like a break, like a breakthrough, okay? Rebirth opportunity. Coming from, the camel that's eaten by the lion, and then there is the lion that is then sort of almost like mind ruled by the music, by the notes, almost like the Pied Piper, like that Mozart magical flute story vibe. It's like that. It's ascension towards the light, the light returning to the light. So for those of you that might be interested, you might be very, very fascinated by, now obviously this depends on where in the world you are. I'm in South Africa, but on Netflix there's a series that is called Our Universe, and it's narrated by Morgan Freeman, which means already it sounds incredibly amazing, you know, with that voice. It just sounds so right. But it's really incredible, and it's explaining how the light of the sun comes to the earth, into the grass, and then it's obviously eaten by, say, the camel eats the grass, picks up that light energy, you know, that light stimulation, and then the lion eats the camel, and so that's how the lion gets that energy. But then instead of the human then having to eat the lion, you know, you raise your vibration, and that is how you are able to, in a positive way, extract that energy that also doesn't disadvantage the lion in any way. So I'm not talking about animals kept in cages here in the zoo. There is a vibe that long before I understood things like animal rights and you know, and maybe you can relate, but you know, before I understood any of those things and you know, animal violations and whatever, to me the circus was it was the furthest thing from a joke. You know, yes, I always liked all the like the magic tricks and stuff like that, but the things that actually involved the animals, I never liked that. I never liked the things of, you know, lions and you know, like elephants being paraded around and painted and stuff like that. I remember that once somebody, I was very young, somebody showed me a picture and they said it's so beautiful, and I just, something inside of me, it's like this dark cloud of anger just came up inside. It wasn't sadness, it was anger, you know. And so for many of you, you may have had from a very young age had that connection, but maybe also it's really beginning to really go into that next level now where you might really start to notice it. It's happening for you. There's quite a connection to your past lives. You are beginning to remember your past lives. And I feel that for many of you that has already started to happen, Cancer, but it's more and more during the month of March. You're beginning to remember your past lives. So you're remembering the skills that you refined, you know. You might find yourself just able to do something. And, you know, people's like, hey, how do you know how to do that? And you're like, I've got no fucking idea, you know, like I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. You know, there's talents that are stepping forward, talents that you have refined in previous lifetimes, you know. I spoke in another video about how incredible it is for me that, now don't get me wrong, studying is important and I am still studying and I'll probably study until the day, you know, I kick the bucket. But when I first got into things like numerology and astrology and tarot and the I Ching and thought tarot especially, that was a big turn for my life last year, which it's information I believe it only comes to you once you are ready for it because it's a responsible energy. But even that with like sacred geometry and Kabbalah, which is, I've always been fascinated by it, you know, because of tarot obviously, but I've never really thought that's something that I'd really get into. And so that is really, really amazing as well. But for me, when I learn these things, and even though I put a lot of actual study into it, because that's important, I somehow just know stuff. I like figure it out for myself. And it's like, you know. And it's funny enough, when I was in school, my maths teacher, he actually got a little bit of stroppers with me because, you know, I was a music student, so you get a lot of homework in music, and it's very like next level, like the theory and it's quite amazing actually in the calculations. So to me, maths was easier, you know, and because of that, I could actually figure things out on my own without actually, you know, the tutelage in the maths. So that was quite amazing actually. But you know, of course, the teacher thought I was cheating, which I wasn't. But I mean, it's in the past, and actually, I'm actually elaborating on that because I literally just figured it out right now. Because I remember the one day I was called to the board, I was called to the front to come and work out like a formula, and I just did it. And like he was like, "How did you do it?" And I said, "I don't know." And he said, "Okay, write down the steps." So I was like writing across all these boards, all the steps that were going on in my mind. And I think that the teacher thought that I was being sort of like, you know, full of it, like I was showing off or anything like that. But in actual fact, I wasn't. And then it turns out he was actually teaching. I was working with a formula that he hasn't taught yet, and that is where the whole thing came out. Like, you know, like what are you doing? Are you cheating? Like what is going on? Like, you know, and like so forth and so forth. Why don't you just stay with the class? But I literally just figured out now. What a powerful moment to share with you, that is the reason why I figured it out, because, you know, math speaks the language. And I've always felt like, for many of you, actually, even like myself, you may have not fitted into the world as easily. And it's interesting because you may have had that experience of, how would I say this? It's like, I'm going to give you an example from my life. I have never been too interested in school because I didn't really know exactly what I was going to do with my life, but I knew that it had very little to do with what I was being taught in the system. Now, I'm obviously not trying to steer you away from school or whatever. I'm just saying that for some of you, there might be that point in life where you were like, things are not making sense. You were that sort of oddball out, even in your own life. And in March, you're beginning to understand why that is. It's like that full circle moment, and it's almost like when you look at yourself, or when the world maybe accuses, and everything that they may have said that is wrong with you turns out to be the thing that is now right with the world. You know what I mean? So they sort of need what you have to be brought to the table. It's that sort of thing. Because I also see for a lot of you now, many of you have already really started this. So it's interesting that we're focusing on love in this reading, but what are you, 1, 2, 3, the fourth reading that I've been doing, and I'm taking like obviously long breaks in between and all that type of stuff. But it's the fourth one that the focus is love, but it really focuses on how to release the blockages that are sort of standing in the way of your dream, that are blocking your dreams. And it's interesting because once those things are out of the way, everything just flows. The plan is still your plan. What's yours is still yours. It's just a question of when. And that's the thing with divine timing. The possibility is always possible, but it's about it becoming possible for us. So when we experience it, that is divine timing. So the more work you put into yourself, as I can see some of you did, many of you did actually, that is what brings you to the sort of crossroads, and you're open to the help of your ancestors. So I really like that because it's not a sense of like, I'm going to figure this out and nobody's going to help me in this. No, that's you working with your higher self. And so you got to see, and in a ways that's probably not sexy at all, what are the things in life that you just know no longer saying yes to? Like it's like a hell no pass. Keep on walking, don't even pause. Can I help you go past faster? That sort of thing, And I do see that a lot of you've come to establish who and what it is that is holding you back. What is it in your mind that is causing you to repeatedly have the experiences where you eventually feel stuck? I can see that in March you're getting that final answer, which is great, and it brings all those everything to you. So there's a lot of movement in March. There's a lot of things happening, but there's the opening of the heart. So you've got the opening of the heart and the opening of the third eye, the pineal gland, profoundly at the same time, and it's peaceful. And with that comes in your person. So the change, it involves your person coming to you. All right. So that sudden changes that you are making in March, it also involves the person coming into your life. And I want to clarify when I say that it is that energy that you tap into which draws that person to you. But if you're going to go through March and you say, okay, when's it happening? I mean, today's the 13th of March. You said it's coming in March. When is this happening? And oh my goodness, now it's the 18th. And if it's not here, and then, oh my goodness, we want to go to lunch and I've got this and this and da 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 da. That is then the energy that repels it. So don't go chasing it, okay? Don't go chasing it. Just let it come to you, all right? Let's draw some clarification cards, and then I'm also going to draw a message from the universe before we end off with that one burning question. Hey, if you're new here, I'd like to welcome you. I'd like to thank you for your support. Hopefully you'll consider subscribing to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. And oh my goodness, this is something. And if you're coming back, thank you for your support. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very, very, very much. So, Jupiter energy. Right away there, in your clarification, like Spirit is making no bones about it. When I think when you ask Spirit a direct question, what is it that you need to know? Spirit isn't tippy-toeing around you with your information. Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter energy, luck, expansion, development, stability, prosperity, wealth. You're getting that thing where, there's something in life you always, well, not always, but you often see it on people that are super, super rich, super, super wealthy, really, but they are not defined by the money. They either were born into money, so to them it's as natural as breathing, or they've made peace with sort of like the demons that are, like keeping their abundance at bay. Because abundance money is like, it's energy, it's the same as oxygen, it's always there. People weren't thinking about breathing, or a lot of people weren't thinking about breathing until COVID happened, and a lot of people are not thinking about money until there's a shortage. So, those people, they manage to somehow tap into the vibration and stay in the vibration. And it's a very sweet spot, eh? That's a sweet spot, And in basically all my coaching, like there's links down below, in all my coaching I speak about that sort of things, how to help you get there, because I believe that the more people are happy in this world, the better this world is for everyone. And there's more, this is the thing, there's more than enough for everyone, People are speaking about there's not enough land. Listen, I live in South Africa where there are, miles and miles, or as we call it, kilometers and kilometers of open land, fertile land across the world. There is a lot of land, but it's greed that is sort of withholding us from experiencing it. And for many of you, you've picked up that greed energy because, and I don't want you to get me wrong, remember that you have to be familiar with the space in which you live. And as an emotional being, Cancer, you need to know your surroundings. Otherwise, it's a problem. So you needed to understand greed. And in order to understand it, you have to understand its consequences, the limitations that come with it, all of those types of things. But look at it, you're ready to walk away from it now, because now you learned the lesson. And because you learned the lesson, you can now help other people to get it as well. And so everybody benefits simultaneously. You've got the Empress, this is your general message. The Empress, which is all about abundance, it's coming, don't worry about it. Choice is there with the Lover's energy. 8 of Cups, there's more coming. All you need to do is be open and willing to receive, okay? Message for your one burning question. Let's see what it is. Let's see what it is. And if all of this resonates with you, or whatever resonates with you, Cancer, claim it for yourself by placing your hand on your heart, take a nice deep breath and say yes to it. And look at what you got. You got the Hierophant, which is all about new beginnings. And those challenges when, just when we're on the doorstep of a new beginning, we always begin to doubt ourselves. And what the universe, or what Spirit really wants you to know above all, my beautiful Cancer, is that before, when you start to doubt yourself, you would basically begin to sabotage yourself, and you wouldn't realize that until it was already done, until the chandelier's already sort of like fallen down the floor and it's laying in splinters on the roof, and the waiter slipped and fell on it, and you saw him going like a penguin suit. It's letting you know that your vibration is of such a nature, it has picked up so much momentum that there will be challenges, but nothing, it's like a walk in the park compared to what you had before. All right, so that's what I have. I hope that it helps you, my beautiful Cancers. I hope that March is the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful month for you. I know that some of you had some uphill battles. Sending you love and light, and I'll see you next week.